Spotter catty hunting, anybody? Oh yeah. Cockfield fell. Well, thought I'd make this video in a nice location. I know a lot of you guys, my friends, waiting to see what the results were from the MRI scans I had on my back. Well, turned out to be interesting, to say the least. Well, I mean, just to give you a quick background, in 2011, the pain that I was in while working, deburring tubes, working as a sheet metal worker, my back it felt like somebody was pouring lead down my spine, and it wasn't recovering day to day and was getting progressively worse. And my GP, well, at the same time, my right knee was very bad, very unstable. I nearly fell into a machine, and that's when my GP turned around and said, "Right lad, enough's enough, you've got to sort this problem out." So that was when I started on the mission to find a knee surgeon. But at the same time, I needed to work out what the problem was with my back. Now, the location of the problem is smack bang T7, T8 area, like somebody driving a nail into it, with associated bladder problems, hands going numb, weakness in my hands, amongst other things. And went and had MRI scans at Scunthorpe Hospital. This would be 2012, I think, and was told that I had a collapsed disc, T7, T8. So naturally, you know, it's just somebody tells you that, you think it's correct. And this whole time, as you know, the symptoms have got worse, to the point where I'm struggling to spend any time in the workshop. So, found what looked like a very good surgeon in Newcastle at the RVI, which is highly regarded, and got the referral, had the full MRI scans with some urgency, and went for the results yesterday. Well, turns out for a 34-year-old, not only is my spine, my entire spine, in a perfect condition, it's actually way better than average, because I have an enlarged spinal canal, which means there's more fluid in there, and somehow that makes it way better. Yeah. So it looks like, first of all, I've been heavily misdiagnosed for God knows why, but the whole time the problems have been progressively getting worse. The symptoms have naturally matched what I thought it was. So to be told yesterday that it's not what I thought it was a bit of a surprise. So I've been misdiagnosed, and well, still need to get to the bottom of it. So basically what he said is the MRI scans do not show nerve damage, they just show mechanical damage. Now, I was really hoping it was mechanical damage, because in my mind, mechanical damage is a mechanical fix, or not fixed, but it's mechanical damage. It can be then seen, described, explained, etc. So now that it's not what we thought it was, now we would have figured this out much sooner had the symptoms not matched, but with the matching, obviously, So what he did say was, to get to the bottom of it, because naturally I want to get to the bottom of it, he said the next step is to go see a neurologist. Ow, bastard. That's the problem with being barefoot. What's that? Is that a thistle thorn? Yeah, it is. Right, I'll be back. Ah, fuck no, it's a bee sting. Shit. Ah, right in my little toe. Right, I'll be back with you in a minute. Could have done without that. Right, okay. So, yeah, so it's not a mechanical problem, which is great to rule that out. It means the invasive surgery, which I thought was going to be inevitable, is no longer an issue. So, you know, got to be grateful for that. That's good news, really good news. The downside is it's very, very difficult to diagnose and treat damage to the nervous system. I mean, I know they do. They relieve the pressure, and I don't really know much about it. I've not researched it. So what I need, because an MRI scan apparently does not show nerve damage at all. So the way they test for nerve damage is they do what's called nerve conductivity tests, which is where they attach electrodes to you and test how the signal runs through the nervous system electrically. So I've been to see my GP, and my GP happens to be extremely good, and he's made me a referral to a neurologist or neurosurgeon that he knows of, James Cook Hospital. So naturally I'm on the waiting list for that, to find out what happens with that. But although it does feel like I've gone 2 steps backwards, at least I've managed to rule something out. And the other good side of it is I go to see my knee surgeon on the 10th of this month, and hopefully he feels like I've made enough progress with the right knee. He may, hopefully, now that I know that I'm not going to be needing anything with my back, I might be able to get the left knee replaced, which would be would be extremely good, because the morphine that I'm taking at the minute is allowing me to walk, quite literally, which is good. So it does mean that I can potter about, although I do have repercussions from doing this. But then again, how many people have the luck of having a doctor's practice that they have to cross the fells to get to? Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, anyway, I had to make this video, but I wanted to see my GP first, and thought I'd update you all. So, to summarise, I have an extremely healthy spinal cord, but it means back to square one to try and diagnose what the problem is. So a lot of research. First thing that pops up with the symptoms, now that we're not searching for a specific thing like the disc, the first thing that pops up is something called neuralgia, which I don't know anything about. I've not researched it, but yeah, let's try this avenue and see what happens. But still working on a few custom blades. There's not that many left, to be honest. So I'm slowly working through them. I've got a couple of blades that I'm going to be selling, try and pay some bills for materials, and I've got a couple of caddies that I'll try and get sanded up and finished as well, and I'll get them stuck on gear bastion. But yeah, for me, out in the ferns, barefoot, getting stung by bees. I'll catch you later.